How's it? Welcome to another day on Earth. So here we are on this little blue planet floating around the sun. It takes 12 months to do one cycle around the sun. And I was doing some Googling and I see that Earth is 450 billion years old. One of the hardest things to do, one of the biggest challenges that I've found, is to know what to believe. There's so many books that'll tell you what to believe. I remember when I was very young, being sent to Sunday school, and there we were told what to believe. Told that there's God and Jesus and angels, and shown pictures of angels, which is really men with wings on their back. And at first I believed that. I believed everything that I was told. But then I got older and I found that I could think for myself. And I began to figure out that it couldn't be the way that I was being told it was. You get born in sin, you live, you die, and the aim is to go to heaven and then do what? Sit on the right hand side of God and what? Like really, you have one life and then you go to heaven and you stay there? We were shown pictures of angels sitting on clouds playing harps. After a while, I didn't understand that one. Didn't sit well with me. So I began thinking, what does work for me? After going through various religions and trying to believe the things that I was told, I've come to the conclusion that if I'm going to find my way on this world, I've got to figure this stuff out for myself. I'm not going to just believe anything that I'm going to find in a book. It needs to be something that I can understand. It needs to be something that makes sense to me. So I've decided to chuck out most of the stuff that I've been taught. I'll believe things like maths because I figure it out. It makes sense to me. I will not believe the earth is flat just because it doesn't make any sense to me. I look out through a telescope like I have done. I went to the observatory, looked through that telescope, and I saw that all the planets I was looking at, all the stars, they all appeared spherical. So now why would we be living on a disk if everything else is spherical? So whether I'm right or wrong doesn't matter. I just choose to believe that the world is round. And that's just the end of it for me. I'm not going to even debate. If somebody wants to say the world's flat, they can say it's flat, but then they must go somewhere else. Or I will go somewhere else. I'm not going to argue with them about the world being flat or not. That's just a big distraction from more important thoughts and discussions, for me anyway. So I choose to believe that I live on a round world. I choose to believe that at any time I can change my belief if I encounter better information than what I'm currently believing. So here I am on this world traveling around the sun in its 12-month cycle. And it's been doing this for 450 billion years. Now that makes sense to me that in all this time, it makes sense to me that life's been evolving. I see the evidence of it in the fossils. Yes, the fossils are real. They weren't put there by God to test our faith. I don't believe there is a God. I believe there's a source of everything. I believe there's a source of creation. If you want to call that God, you can call it God. This whole God thing sounds too much like a person. It's a source. It's a It's a thing I'm going to figure out. But there is a source. To me, it makes sense. Nothing can just come from nothing. It came from something. What that something is, I think life's a journey to figure that out. So now I've chucked out all the stuff that I was told, and I'm creating my own belief system. And in there, on this little blue planet going around the sun in its endless 12-month dance of 450 billion years, I choose that there is an evolutionary cycle in the same way that we have a school. And I went to school in sub A, and then I went into sub B, and then standard 1, and then standard 2, and then standard 3, and 4, and 5, and 6, and so it went on. It makes sense to me that I live lives, that we all live lives like Earth is a kind of a school. The purpose of that school, I don't know, I'm busy figuring that out. But I see that there is a school. I see the learning occurring in the people around me, and I see the learning occurring in myself. So I choose to say that reincarnation is a practical mechanism whereby the part of us which thinks and observes can inhabit a body like this over and over and over. Whether we are male, female, horse, cow, I don't know. I kind of figure out that we perhaps go through all forms of life in earth, in water, in air, and on earth. Whether that's the case, I don't actually know. But it makes sense to me that consciousness is a developing thing. It makes sense to me that as we acquire more consciousness, we acquire more mastery of these planes. And by these planes, I mean there's a thinking plane, there's a feeling plane, and there's an acting plane. These three primary planes. Just like it gets solid, liquid, and gas, you've got these three primary planes: the thinking plane, the feeling plane, and the emotional plane. You've got motion down here, you've got emotion in the feelings, and you've got thought in the thinking. Beyond thought, I'm not too sure what that is. That there is something beyond there. I'm sure there is, just like there's something beyond the onion, that's called earth. What that is, I don't know. I want my life to be something that figures that out. So my beliefs are that reincarnation is a practical mechanism, and that the knowledge that I gain needs to be experiential knowledge, not learned. I don't want somebody else, I don't want to repeat somebody else's words to myself. I don't want to live my life that way. I want to figure out my own thinking and own it. So, I'm busy building a belief system. It just has to make sense to me. And I reserve the right to change it at a moment's notice if I encounter new and better information. What do you believe? Do you believe what you were told? Or do you believe stuff you figured out for yourself? What do you believe? What are you going to believe? Are you going to go around life regurgitating words so you'll look and sound clever? But will it be something that you believe? Because I've done that. I've regurgitated information, other people's words, in the hope that I will sound and look clever. But that is not useful. I know a lot of people who come across as very, very, very intelligent. They can give you facts, and they can give you information, and they can give you empirical data. But I say, how are they experiencing that knowledge? How are they experiencing that belief system? Is it a borrowed belief system or is it an understood belief system? I'm looking for one that I understand. And so I'm busy making my belief system. I'll keep you updated as to the progress therein, but so far I believe that I am a thinking, feeling entity inside a physical body. And I think that I am on this world, traveling around the sun again. I think I've been here before, and I think I'll be here again. But right now, I'm living here as me. And I'm here for the purpose of summing the part of me that's looking through these eyes. That's the part that I'm here for, the part that's learning and observing. And for the rest, I'm going to figure it out. So that's it, another day on earth. I'll let you know how it goes. Onward and upward.